Antonio today, the only local news station with nonstop news.
Good morning. Nonstop news starts right now. We are the only station that is commercial free for the next 15 minutes. We have you covered this morning, including a look at traffic with Joy and a look at your weather with Jeannette. Good morning, Jeannette.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm keeping a very close eye on radar, Marisa, because I'm hoping that at least parts of the area sees rain from this area of thunderstorms, which was much stronger just a few hours ago, farther to the northwest, holding together as it progresses to the southeast. And these storms are moving fairly quickly. At least the line of storms is racing to the east and southeast right around 40 miles an hour. For the most part, this isn't severe. However, there is a severe thunderstorm warning that continues because earlier radar spotted a severe storm to the east of Sonora. And there is a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Rock Springs. This is mostly for Edwards County, goes until 7:15 this morning. Primary hazard being some gusty winds that could get over 60 miles an hour. That could cause some damage to property. Again, this is a holding together. Again, not quite as severe, but we can see the Brownwood, Brady now picking up some very heavy rain along with the frequent cloud to ground lightning. These are the cities next in line to see the heavy rain, the brief high winds, and the frequent lightning. Roosevelt 657, Junction 709, Rock Springs by 726. Kerrville will likely see that after 7:30 this morning. A 30% rain chance later this morning until noontime, but if we see that line of storms coming in, we'll have to increase that rain chance at least by about 8, 9, 10 o'clock this morning. Drier this afternoon, but the rain chance increases. Tonight could have some widespread heavy rain tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, and then again Thursday morning. I'll show you your extended forecast coming up in under 10 minutes.
All right, take a look at my map here, and I think you'll be pretty happy with what you see and with what I have to say. Across most of San Antonio, no major delays. Now, it's downtown where we're a little bit out of sorts. Good news here is that 18-wheeler that had been disabled and ended up on the side of the road blocking a lane on I-35 northbound at 281 has cleared. So northbound I-35 looking okay. Southbound, we're starting to look more crowded, and that is as you approach that ongoing construction closure in the southbound lanes of I-35 at Alamo Street. That delay stretching out towards the Y, so you're going to feel it before you see it. The rest of San Antonio, as I said, looking good. But for the latest, let's talk to photojournalist David Mendoza, who is now in road cam. David, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Back on the ground. You know, sometimes you got to risk it to get up there in that helicopter. Not all the time does it work out, so we had to come land. Ceilings are getting real low right now. But I'm on 281 South, right by 410, headed to downtown to give you the latest on what it looks like back there. Back to you for the moment.
Okay, David, thanks. That's the latest for now with your on-time traffic.
All right, thank you guys. New this morning, fire investigators are looking into the cause of the fire on the south side. This is happening at an abandoned house on West Gerald Avenue near Commercial Avenue around 12:30 this morning. Firefighters say the second story collapsed into the first and the front of the roof was destroyed. The fire chief says he's putting a request into the city to tear it down. No one was hurt. And a man is in critical condition after being hit by a car on the east side. This happening on East Houston Street near Coca-Cola Place around just midnight. Police say it happened as the man was running across the street. The driver did not stop to help. A man is dead after police say he was shot while sitting inside a vehicle that then rolled into a home on the west side. The shooting happened off Otter Drive near 410 and 90. Around 8 Monday night, police say the car rolled for 2 blocks before hitting a home. A neighbor's Ring camera caught 3 possible juvenile suspects running from the scene. No one else was hurt. A U.S. Army recruiter from New Braunfels is facing child sex abuse charges, and investigators are asking victims to come forward. Marcel Moreno was arrested at Fort Sam Houston last week for a warrant issued by New Braunfels police, charging him with sexual performance of a child. He's an Army recruiter, and police say he had an intimate relationship with a 17-year-old he met at a recruiting event at New Braunfels High School. Investigators say they found out about 2 more victims Moreno met in a similar fashion. Meanwhile, Bernie Middle School principal is facing charges. The Kendall County Sheriff's Office arrested Daniel Owen last week. He's accused of driving while intoxicated and also charges for unlawful carry of a gun. He bonded out of jail June 6. This morning, Owen is still listed as a principal at Bernie Middle School North. A former UTSA professor facing child pornography charges will appear in federal court today. Zaid Mashur Haddad was arrested last month. That's 4 years after federal officers found him watching child pornography at his home. Haddad is being held without bond. He remains in custody as his case proceeds. New developments in the Suzanne Simpson murder investigation. Her husband, Brad Simpson, was back before a judge yesterday as his case moves forward. Now, the judge is ordering Texas Rangers and Olmos Park Police to turn over all evidence in the case. He's also requesting a private review of anything previously shown to the grand jury. Simpson is charged with the murder of his wife, Suzanne. She was last seen last October of last year. Her body hasn't been found, but DNA of a reciprocating saw allowed prosecutors to move forward.
What I am going to do is for the state, any evidence that was presented or shown to the grand jurors, you produce it to the court. And then if there's nothing, there's nothing.
The deadline to submit the evidence and the hearing are both scheduled for August 1st. A San Antonio combat veteran is paralyzed after being shot outside a bar. His family wants to know why the suspect, an undocumented immigrant with prior arrests, was still free. The shooting was May 4th at El Patio Sports Bar. Police reports say the victim, 44-year-old Jimmy Friesenhahn, was working security at the bar when he got into a struggle with 29-year-old Wilmer Vladimir Ortega Ruiz. Ruiz allegedly shot Friesenhahn several times. Ruiz is undocumented and had been arrested and booked to the Bexar County Jail at least 3 times since 2020, but was never put on an immigration hold. Now Friesenhahn's family is demanding answers.
Someone seriously failed at their job. To not think twice about issuing another bond, and a bond so low, or one of his previous convictions was time served after a few weeks.
The victim's sister is blaming the Bexar County DA's office. We reached out to them to ask why Ortega Ruiz had not been previously put on immigration hold. The DA's office didn't answer any questions, but sent out a statement saying, quote, "Since May 4th, 2025, Mr. Ruiz Ortega has been in custody under an immigration hold. Our office has been in direct communication with the victim's family, and we are committed to keeping them informed as the case progresses." End quote. An update now on the shooting death of actor Jonathan Joss. News 4 got a look at the police report from the fire that destroyed Joss's home in January. In the report, police say Joss had been posting some, quote, crazy stuff on Facebook and online. Joss told police his house had no electricity and he used a barbecue pit to stay warm. He also told police his dogs may have knocked it over. The report also states Joss and his neighbors have had issues. Joss told police someone broke into his house last July and his neighbor pulled a gun on him. Police spoke to one neighbor identified as Alejandro Ceja. He told police Joss was in court for breaking his fence. The report says the cause of the fire remains undetermined. The San Antonio film community is honoring Jonathan Joss's legacy. Joss was best known for voicing John Redcorn in King of the Hill, but he also worked on a wide range of independent and mainstream films. One of his final projects was an animated film titled Unplugged, set to air in 2027. Writer and director Paul McComas, who worked closely with Joss, remembers him as someone who always gave back to the indie film world.
Jonathan worked a lot in indie. He loved indie. He supported indie, and we were happy to support him and to work with him. It was such an honor. We recorded in Austin a couple of years ago, and well, he literally gave me the shirt off his back because I admired his t-shirt, and he said, "Oh, you like it?" And he took it right off and handed it to me, and that's the kind of guy he was.
Unplugged is Joss's final performance, and those who knew him say it captured the heart of who he truly was. Today, Bexar County commissioners are expected to decide how to make massive improvements to the Freeman Coliseum grounds. News 4 San Antonio's Christina De Leon is live with more on what this exactly means for taxpayers. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Marissa. Good morning, everyone. You know, if approved, this venue tax would actually come from tourists visiting our community. So here's what it means. Commissioners will be discussing how to fund the renovations and/or redevelopment of Freeman Coliseum grounds and a new arena, one we've been talking about for a while now. They're going to be figuring out what will go on the ballot for this tax in November. It'll decide whether to include a slight raise to the hotel occupancy tax rate from 1.75 to 2%, which is expected to raise revenue over 30 years by about $60 million. All the money generated would be used to renovate and the redevelopment to the Freeman Coliseum grounds, its surrounding facilities, and could also include the development of a new multi-purpose arena project downtown to serve as the future home for the San Antonio Spurs. Now again, county commissioners are going to meet, discuss it, figure out the verbiage that will go on the election ballot, and again, it has to get approved. County commissioners will have that open for discussion. They're expected to meet a little later on this morning, and of course we'll continue to follow it later on today. Reporting live downtown outside the Bexar County Courthouse, I'm Christina De Leon. We'll send it back to you.
In this morning's sports, mandatory minicamp for the Cowboys begins today, and all the players are required to be there. So what does that mean for defensive star Micah Parsons? He's in the middle of a contract negotiation, and just last week on his social media site said, "I will be there. I haven't missed a minicamp in 4 years." And then moments later in the same breath said, "I'm preparing as if I will be on the field the first week of camp, but it's in the owner's hands." So the 26-year-old might be present for minicamp, but that doesn't mean that he will be a full participant on the practice field. We, of course, have a crew in Frisco, and we'll bring you the latest tonight on News 4. Well, now's your chance to play our Father's Day trivia contest. Grab your phone for your chance to win a $100 prepaid debit card. All you got to do is scan this QR code. The daily prize winners will also be eligible for a chance to win the national weekly $5,000 drawing. Congratulations to yesterday's winner, Jeff Enriquez.
Now your certified most accurate four-zone weather with meteorologist Jeannette.
So you've been monitoring this, I guess, storm, right? That's holding together pretty well?
It's holding together, but it is weakening. And Western Hill Country will certainly see rain from that. Still question mark whether or not it holds together to bring us rain later
To bring
this
us
morning
rain,
in San
at
Antonio.
least some this afternoon.
Yeah, well, a better chance for us will be tonight, tomorrow morning, and then again tomorrow night and Thursday morning.
Okay, sounds good.
Could have some heavy rain that could cause some flooding, so you may be a little busier, Marisa, tomorrow morning and Thursday morning. Here's where the rain is right now. It's an area of thunderstorms. You can see that line of storms that extends from just south of I-20 to I-10. This is the tail end of the line of storms, and I'm zooming in here because this is what I'm watching closely. This is what will likely hit areas in the Western Hill Country and the Edwards Plateau region. This is entering far northwestern Edwards County, back across northern Val Verde County. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Rock Springs and Edwards County until 7:15. Earlier radar indicated a severe thunderstorm east of Sonora, but it looks like that has now weakened. However, going to keep that warning there. Could have high wind gusts, damaging wind gusts over 60 miles an hour, and perhaps even some hail. Junction starting to see some light rain, heaviest rain just to the northwest. This is going to be moving into Kerr County, at least grazing far northern Kerr County. Up across Brownwood, very heavy rain. Along this line of storms, there's torrential rain, and check out all of those lightning strikes. There are some brief high winds, gusts at least 30 miles an hour. Roosevelt, you'll see this by 6:57 if you're watching us in that area because you're just outside of our viewing area. Junction 709, Loma Alta 720, Rock Springs 726, and then should see that after 7:30 in Kerrville. Tail end of a stationary front is across central Texas, plus we have the short wave that is what's producing that complex of thunderstorms. This was a lot stronger as it was over west central Texas. Want to point out that there is a little mid to upper level disturbance that's in Arizona. That's the weather maker that will be moving into Texas tomorrow and Thursday, hence why we'll see an increased rain chance during that time. As that moves away on Friday, still could see some lingering showers and storms Friday into the weekend, but not as much as what I expect tomorrow and Thursday. Let's take you through the day. In-house computer model showing some showers and storms across the Western Hill Country. Could get some of that here into northern Bexar County at least after about 8 o'clock in the morning. This afternoon, a shower or thunderstorm is possible. Then it is going to get more active as we go into the evening. Tonight through tomorrow morning could have an area of heavy storms. Tomorrow in the afternoon, it looks like some isolated showers and storms before the final batch of heavy rain comes in tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Rain chances look to decrease Friday into the weekend. There's a level 1 severe weather risk for the area today, level 2 along the Rio Grande. This is mostly for this afternoon into tonight. Primary hazards being heavy rain that could cause flooding, some high winds, hail, and an isolated tornado is possible along that slight risk area in the Rio Grande. Level 1 risk for everyone tomorrow, and then Thursday a level 1 risk mainly for our northern and western spots. A general 1 to 3 inches of rain for us through the end of the week. So here it is, about a 30% rain chance later this morning that may have to increase, especially for northern Bexar County with that line of storms. 60% rain chance tomorrow through Thursday, weather alert days there, and then rain chances will be a lot lower going into the weekend. Make sure that you are weather aware through at least Thursday. Here's the extended forecast for the other 3 zones, a more active weather pattern. Here's the extended real quick for the eastern zone.
All right, I want to do another check-in here with photojournalist David Mendoza, who is in road cam this morning. He just drove through those construction closures in the southbound lanes of I-35 at Alamo Street downtown. So I wanted to kind of get an update from him on how long it took. David, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Joy. Yeah, I just drove past those construction closures. It's not a big deal. It's another morning of mild traffic, so always a good thing, always appreciated. Really nothing to worry about out on the roads at the moment. Drive safe and have a great Tuesday. Back to you.
All right, David, happy Tuesday. We appreciate it. Again, this is the area that he's talking about that he just drove through southbound on I-35 as you're approaching Alamo Street. Everywhere else looking good. That's the latest with your on-time traffic.
Well, take a look at this. Wenby is at the famous Shaolin Temple in China, the ancient home of Kung Fu and Zen Buddhism. Wenby toured the monastery, then shaved his head and dined with monks. He's there for a 10-day meditation retreat, which consists of mental and physical training. A friend of Wenby tells us to remember everything he does is to become the best basketball player of all time. So this is likely part of that training. That must be nice.
Wow, it is.
So peaceful, right?
10 days.